Welcome to My Opinion here on My Opinion TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And this morning, we want to look at two incidents. One, a Gracekennedy worker who was murdered. And two, a very interesting story is in the Gleaner today about the Firearm Licensing Authority and the son of the Chinese couple who were murdered by gunmen. And I want to talk about the article first, because reading that article to the end of that article brings a very interesting story. How interesting is that story? It's for you to read it and see for yourself. Because how many times we must tell you that a lot of the crimes in Jamaica are committed by the minor set of problem people in Jamaica. And it seems as if gunmen are interchanging and creating havoc in our country. Now, while I was reading this article, to the latter part of this article, yesterday I made a story saying that two brothers were charged for the murder of the Chinese couple. Now, when I saw that article, I then saw another article that two brothers was charged for the murder of the shopkeeper and a woman in Westmoreland. So at one point I was tempted to withdraw the story because I was like, this couldn't be true. It seemed like there must be some misunderstanding in terms of the story. But only decided to leave that story alone and let's see what happens. And now I start to read a story today in the Gleaner about the Chinese couple who lost their life, and their son was speaking about how his parents was rejected. Firearm license was rejected by the FLA. Now, as I read that story going further down, I must tell you, it says, to the latter stages of the story, it says, interestingly, the same 9mm pistol that was used to kill Shu's parents was used 21 days later to snuff out the lives of Westmoreland shopkeeper Sophia Brown and her friend Bernie Lewis during a brazen daylight robbery. Police investigators reveal citing ballistics tests. So am I to believe that the two brothers that the police have now held for the murder of the Chinese couple are also responsible for the murder of Westmoreland shopkeeper Sophia Brown and her friend Bernie Lewis? I would need some clarification on this. So, would it be a case where the two brothers are charged for two double murder? So you can see the Chinese couple life was snuffed out in St. Elizabeth, and then 3 weeks later, the same firearm was used in Westmoreland to take the life of two women. And how the Gleaner put it, it says the gun was seized last month after a man traveling from St. Elizabeth was intercepted by the police in Westmoreland, investigators revealed. Sophia Brown, 45, operated Texas Grocery for over 2 decades, despite being robbed 11 times, and her daughter Tiffany Turner disclosed. 6 months before her death, gunmen attempted to stage another robbery. They came and fired shots, but they never got anything because there was a licensed firearm holder and he fired back at them. Turner said her mother contemplated applying for a gun license but quickly abandoned the idea. She had the papers application form but she didn't sign them, said her daughter. They are still blank. So the Firearm Licensing Authority is not handing out firearms to legitimate business owners, but they are giving firearms to convicted persons. Now, interestingly, while reading the story, the Chinese couple, their supermarket was robbed more than one time. I think they said over 3 times. Sophia Brown, who operated Texas Grocery in Westmoreland, her shop was robbed over 11 times. Are these criminals the one that robbed the store over 11 times and robbed the supermarket over 3 times, and they reached a point where they feel like the supermarket owner is now knowing them and the lady is now knowing them, so they have to take their life? Is that the case? We hope it clearly, based on what I'm reading, it seems as if the investigators are doing a wonderful job, because they have tied into both crime scenes, the weapon. Ballistic report have come back to suggest that both crime scenes, the same gun was used to commit the murder. If these 2 brothers are found guilty, all hell broke loose. There is no way these 2 brothers should see something called sunlight anymore, apart from in a jail cell. How can we continue to have people like this on our street in Jamaica creating mayhem? How could we? They clearly, what you are seeing here is a set of criminals who are going from places to places, door to door, to commit gruesome acts. These brothers, and in the story I did yesterday, it would suggest that they have another brother who is involved in criminality. So, right there and then, we are in a situation where this family of brothers are in Jamaica with absolutely no purpose at all. Absolutely no purpose at all. And we hope that more investigation will be done. And we hope that we will hear how many more persons the same firearm have killed. And we will hope that when they go before court, when they go before the judges, sufficient information, sufficient evidence is there to put them away. But let me know what you think in the comment section. The other story we want to talk about is a story that brings a lot into question, where a Gracekennedy worker, 30-year-old Leona Kimmy Thomas, a driver employed to Gracekennedy, was killed early Wednesday morning while making deliveries in close proximity to her home in Windsor Heights off Windsor Road in St. Catherine. Strangely, it is an incident that remained low-keyed. Now, in this incident, based on what the police are saying, Thomas' body was found along Washington Drive in Windsor Heights. While being informed about the state of her daughter's body, the father told the police that the police officer, had to console him. Police sources say that Thomas didn't make it home on Wednesday morning. The truck she was driving was discovered stripped of all goods on the main road. This was a little distance away from where her body was dumped. And to make matters worse in this case, the person who killed this young lady happened to went to her house opened her door and stole items from the house. Now, when you look at this situation, clearly, whoever killed Miss Thomas knew her and knew her well. She had gunshot wounds, her throat was slashed, and they plucked out her eyes. Well, there's a stigma in Jamaica that when gunmen kill people and cut out their tongue, is that they talk too much. When they pluck out their eyes, they're saying that you see too much. Is this the case that young 30-year-old Miss Thomas might have seen something, Leona Thomas might have seen something, and these criminals decide to take her out? And moreover, they stole everything from the truck and then took the keys to her house, went to her house and robbed it, and have the audacity to close back the door and leave. I don't think the police should look far. Don Webby from Gracekennedy, I said the trucks are normally have panic buttons, but in this case, the panic button was not pressed. Maybe it's a case that Leona Thomas knew her killers. She might have known her killers, or she was taken by surprise and couldn't act. Because, you know, sometimes when fright overcomes someone, they forget all protocols. But we want the police to work on this case. I don't think they should look far. Someone close to Leona Thomas decided to take her life and then have the audacity to go to her place to rob it. I hope the investigators will follow any sign that they have. And we want a quick resolution to this one. And just as I said about the brothers, these criminals, it is time for the gallows to open, because they are beginning to get more brazen as the day progresses. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Until next time, stay safe, look out for the children, look out for a neighbor, look out for a loved one, and most of all, keep it locked on My Opinion TV.